distance in the light, vibration of the thunder.
Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and this is the My Sober Addiction podcast. And we are happy, healthy, wealthy, and free. Yes, loved one, I hope you're doing super duper fantastic. I'm doing pretty darn well myself, actually. I had recorded a podcast for this week, and it was okay. It was okay. I'm like, yeah, it'll do, right? But one thing that I've learned, a little saying that I picked up over the years, is that good enough seldom is. So it's like anytime we're doing something, if we say, that's good enough, what we're really saying is it's not good enough, but we're tired of working on it or something. Another one, by the way, that I've picked up over the years, to me, I guess, is similar, or maybe it's not, but whatever. But it is when you hear people say like, oh, we can make it work. Well, if it has to be made to work, then that means it doesn't work. So there's that. So I had done a couple of episodes. I did one right amidst the holidays, and I did it based on being thankful for sobriety, in that back when we were in active addiction, we were not able to go to family if they were like out of town. Like in my case, we would have to go out of town for a day or two and just spend Christmas or whatever, that kind of thing. But when you are strung out on dope, you can't do that. You can't leave your hustle for that long. You can't get away from your dope man for that long. It's like you really are chained to the whole game. And you can't leave town. You can't go stay at your grandma's house for Christmas. Can't do that. Why? Because too busy chasing dope. And it's like, so my point of that episode was, isn't it nice that now we can? Isn't it nice that now we can slow down during the holidays and spend some money on gifts and things like that, and maybe even buy an ugly sweater or whatever? Isn't it nice that we could do these things now? Because there's so many people out there right now who cannot do that because they're too busy chasing dope. And I know if you're anything like me, you see them all the time. We can spot them a mile away, and we just want to grab them and just be like, dude, stop. Just stop. Just go get in treatment right now. No, right now. Right now. Get in treatment today. And maybe it's like, well, there's not a bed available. You know what I mean, loved one. We just want to grab them and shake them and tell them, please stop the madness. There is life after this, and it's freaking good. Because you can go stay at your grandma's for the holidays, right? Just let my Kentucky come through. Go stay at grandma's. Yeah. So anyway, loved ones. And then after that, I was doing another episode, and it was right amidst that big winter storm. I don't remember what it was, one of the named ones, but we were really snowed in. We had a lot of snow, then we had a lot of ice, and then we had a lot of snow again. And it was pretty crazy. And I was standing in my living room window looking out at all that snow, and the roads are completely impassable. They had declared a state of emergency and stay off the roads, yada, yada, all that stuff. And here I am just in my sweatpants and hoodie and just chilling, cozy, having a cup of coffee, looking out the window. And it hit me. I'm like, man, back in the days of active addiction, it doesn't matter what the weather's doing out there. Snowstorms don't give a rat's ass if it's snowing or not. It doesn't matter if the governor declared a state of emergency. It doesn't matter if the interstates are closed down. None of that matters. You still have to hustle, and you still have to grind it out, and you still have to go see your dope man. So I was just standing there looking out the window, and a rush of gratitude just came over me. It's like, wow, I can stay home and just drink my coffee and stay in the house and be cozy, and I don't have to be dope sick. I don't have to do any of that stuff. So isn't it nice? Then I recorded a podcast for this week. And yes, I'm late getting it out again. I'm sorry. But kind of staying on the topic of gratitude, it just hit me. And I don't know if it was my higher power speaking to me or my higher self speaking to me, but it hit me that gratitude is your number one tool in life. I don't think that came from me. I think that came from outside of me. I think I was inspired to say that. That's why I am recording this episode. So isn't it awesome that that's all we've got to do? That gratitude is your number one tool for a successful and happy life. It doesn't cost you anything. And I guess it could be argued that it would cost you if you didn't exercise some gratitude. We've got lots of things to be thankful for. I mean, we've got the obvious. Yeah, we've got sobriety. Okay. We've got our family. Yes. We've got all of those obvious things to be grateful for. But I know that most of you are like me and you want something better for your life. The self-help industry is enormous. I forgot what the billions of dollars that are spent each year on self-help and manifestation and the law of attraction and all of those things. And I'm not poo-pooing it. I know I have. I've poo-pooed law of attraction in the past. And I will probably do it again. But gratitude. Here's why it's important. Because when we are thankful for the things that we do have, when we recognize the blessings, the gifts, the things that we do have, for one, we realize how good we've already got it. But two, it gives your higher power motivation to bless you even more. Because if you've done something really nice for someone and they did not show any gratitude whatsoever, it didn't even show, not even so much as a thank you, right? You know how you felt about that. Did you feel like doing more for that person? No. You're like, they didn't appreciate what I did for them the last time. I'm not saying you wouldn't do it, but you're a lot more joyful about doing it for someone if they were grateful, right? I mean, the same thing applies. So when we are grateful for the things that we do have, we're a lot more likely to get blessed with more. It's like if you've got that car, let's say you've got a car and it's kind of a clunker, a little old, maybe a beater. Okay, no shame in that, none. But that car, you should take care of it as if it was a brand new Corvette. Keep it clean. Don't be one of those people that just throws trash all over the car. It's just an old beater anyway. That's not showing any appreciation for what you have. Clean that thing out. Keep it spotless. Kind of goes along the lines of dress for the job you want, not the job you have, right? I know that's not always possible. I know if somebody's a plumber, but they want to be a stockbroker, I mean, you can't exactly wear a three-piece suit, a plumbing job. But anyway, I just went ahead and put that on out there in case you decided you were going to be a smarty pants and be like, oh yeah, well what about, yeah, I already got you there. But we've got lots to be thankful for. And yes, I may make that my new mantra. Gratitude is your number one tool for life. So what can we be thankful for? Because I know sometimes it's like we'll wake up in the morning and we're like, I want to list 5 things or I want to list 10 things that I'm thankful for. Well, okay, I got a car that runs. Okay. I've got a job. I've got sobriety. I got my family. And I know you start thinking, well, those are all kind of generic. And I'm tired of saying the exact same thing every day. Well, aren't you still thankful for those things though? Yeah, that you get my point there. But I mean, we can be more specific. For example, I'm so thankful that I woke up this morning and I was not dope sick. How about that one? You know you're thankful for that. I know that you can be so thankful that you woke up this morning, your stomach wasn't cramping, none of that. Or if it wasn't because you were dope sick. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that an amazing feeling? I mean, really, just reminisce with me for a minute. Isn't it amazing that you woke up this morning and you were not dope sick? If you can't be thankful for that, then geez, turn this off. Just turn this podcast off. So here's some more things we can be thankful for. Be thankful that we live in a place and in a time where we are free to go out and pursue our dreams. We are able to develop our talents. We are able to get a business loan or get a grant to start a business or go to school. Lots of things. I mean, you don't have to go to college. You don't have to go get a degree. In fact, most people don't even recommend that anymore. And there are lots of grants and there are lots of loan programs out there for people who want to be, if you want to be a truck driver, if you want to be a plumber. The numbers are crazy. Like, I think they said that it was like 10 plumbers are retiring for every one plumber that's coming into the field or into the market. So in the next real short little bit, plumbers are pretty much going to be able to charge anything they want. Plumbers are going to be so in demand because they are retiring at an alarming rate. And what's more alarming is how few are coming into the field. Plumbers make $100,000 a year. A good one. You see what I'm getting at? We need to be very grateful that we live in a place and at a time where we're able to go and develop skills like that. Even with the backgrounds that we have. Isn't that amazing? So we've got that to be thankful for. But not only that, the fact that we're able to do that, but we've got to actually get out there and do it. See, the difference between people who are winners and losers is the winners just do what the losers don't want to do. All you've got to do is Google that, figure out what do I got to do to get this grant or get this loan to go and get a certificate or whatever the case may be. I don't know what you got to do to be a plumber or an electrician or an HVAC person or whatever. I do know what you got to do to be a truck driver, but we've got so much more than just, and please understand, I don't mean when I say just, I'm not degrading it at all, but we've got so much more than just sobriety and family to be thankful for. The fact that you have the ambition to do more, that's something to be thankful for. You see what I mean? It's like you woke up this morning not dope sick. Thank you. You live in a place and in a time where you have the freedom and the ability to go out and do something more with yourself. Thank you. You probably have a job already or some kind of career that enables you to pay your bills. Do a little something with the kids on the weekend. Thank you. There's so much that we have that we can be thankful for. You have talents that you may or may not have developed yet. You have skills that somebody would pay you to use them. We need to just figure out what it is that you're good at, or what skill would you like to develop? You have the ability every day to get it done. And again, there's something more to be thankful for. I woke up this morning not dope sick, and I woke up in a place and a time where I can get it done, and I'm able to get it done, and I have the ambition to get it done. And when you express gratitude like that, that's when your higher power will be like, yeah, this guy gets it. You think you're not going to get blessed with more? Come on. You're absolutely going to be blessed with more. It's going to come to you in ways that you just would have never guessed. And you do need to put it out there, cast your net, make it so that those things can come to you. I've mentioned breaking pattern. In other words, do things differently today than you did yesterday. Don't stay on your programming every day. Drive a different route to work. Go to the grocery store on the one on the other side of town instead of this side of town. Go to the grocery store on Thursday instead of Tuesday. Just mix it up. Mix up your routines. Because what that does is that causes the field. I'm not going to get woo-woo on you, but, well, maybe a little bit. But it causes the field to have to stop and pay attention to you and think, what is this guy doing? So you're expressing all this gratitude and you're doing different things. And by deviating from your routines, that's going to cause you to cross paths with people or opportunities or whatever that you normally wouldn't have seen because you wouldn't have been going that way. Or you wouldn't have been there at that time. I know this makes sense. So yes, I'm like, man, I gotta stay on this gratitude train. In fact, I may not ever get off of it. I was originally doing this particular episode where I was asking you a question. Is or was addiction part of your journey? And I also said that our knee-jerk reaction is to say, yes, it was part of my journey because it played a big role in me becoming who I am today. And in a lot of cases, we can't fathom who we would be had we not gone down that road. But we've got to be careful. We do have to be very careful because we've got people who didn't make it and their family members may be looking at us thinking, wow, that guy made it. Why didn't my son make it? Now, I'm not saying they're resentful towards you or anything like that. They're certainly not. In a lot of cases, they're our biggest cheerleader. In a lot of cases, they cheer you on more than anybody will because they want you to be the one to do it. Sure, they may be a little bit resentful in the beginning. Who could blame them? That's why I say we got to be careful. We got to really be sensitive towards those people because they've been through a lot. So whenever we talk about that, I don't really have any answer for that. I don't know what to say about that, except we need to be sensitive to those people. But we also need to understand that they will be there for us as far as cheerleaders for us go. But if you feel that addiction was part of your journey, okay, what purpose could it have served? I don't know that it would have served a purpose per se, except that it would put you on a different path and cause your story to be different than it would have been. But again, when we look back on our life and we think back, remember, I was a late bloomer. I didn't start until I was around 30. So I do remember life before drugs. And I realize a lot of people don't. A lot of people started at such a young age, they do not even remember what it was like before. Okay, I understand that. When we think, what would your life have been like if it had never happened? Even though I can remember my life before, I still couldn't tell you. I'm still like, wow, I don't know. I really don't. That makes me want to say, well, yeah, I guess it was always in my plan. It was something that I was gonna do. And that's a tricky thing. I'm not sitting here pretending like I have the answers. And little sidebar here, as far as that goes, like on the YouTube channel very recently, I did a video where I was talking about how I don't have the answers. And when you run into people who claim to have the answers or they claim to be the authority and all and whatever, those are the people we need to be very, very leery of. In a lot of cases, they claim to be open-minded. They claim to, I'll entertain anybody's, I'm open-minded. I'll entertain anybody's ideas. But yet when people come at them with it, they get very defensive. And in a lot of cases, even combative. The name calling starts. So anyway, that's what I had started to do this episode on. And then I got struck with, I'm still going on the gratitude train. So there's that. But it is a valid question. And I did want to get it in here. I did want to make sure I got that in. The question is, do you feel like addiction was always part of your journey? Even before you even knew what drugs were? To me, that's just a question. It's like, I don't know. And like I said, the knee-jerk reaction, I think for most would be, yeah, I believe it was. It was always in the cards for me. But then we got to really be careful. Like I said, we have to be sensitive to the families of those who didn't make it. Because if we say it was always in our cards, then it must have always been in their cards. And then the question is, well, why did you make it and my kid didn't make it? So we just need to be careful. We need to be sensitive about those things. Because remember, those people are going to be your number one cheerleader. And by the way, bringing it back around to gratitude, we can be so thankful for those people. For example, I can be so thankful for the mother of the guy that I was in rehab with. He didn't make it. He got out of rehab and was gone within a week. And she reached out to a lot of us, because we were in a long-term facility. She reached out to a lot of us other guys that were in rehab with him and is rooting for us. She wants us to be happy and healthy. And she has every reason to be resentful. She would not be right to be resentful, but she has reason to be. So anyway, loved ones, gratitude. It is not hard to sit down and make a list of 10 things you're thankful for every morning, every single day. And I still maintain that at night before we go to sleep, we need to program into our subconscious mind as we're going to sleep what it is that we are manifesting in our lives. I am successful. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am, you fill in your blanks. And go to sleep with that in our subconscious mind, because magical things happen when we're off in the dream world. That's all I'm going to say. I'm really trying to not be as woo-woo on the podcast as I used to be. I'm trying to reel it back down to addiction, if you haven't noticed. The YouTube channel, yes, we will talk a lot more about the woo-woo stuff on the woo-woo channel, on the woo-woo channel, on the YouTube channel. So I would appreciate it if you would go to the YouTubes and find me, Matt Stevens, MSA, as in My Sober Addiction. I am there. I am also on X, formerly Twitter. Also, Matt Stevens, MSA. And if you want to read some of my weirder blog posts, blurbs, just articles, just little things that I've written, because I do love to write, you can find that stuff on either Substack as Matt Stevens, or I have begun posting them also on Reddit. So you can find me on Reddit and Substack with the blogs and the blurbs and all of that. And the videos on YouTube, also to a lesser degree on Rumble, if you prefer Rumble. Also, Matt Stevens. And if nothing else, just follow me on X, because on there I will be posting links to all of that stuff. Anytime I post something on Substack or Reddit or YouTube, anything, these episodes, I always link to them on X. So that would probably be the best all-encompassing way to find my other stuff. And I would appreciate it if you would go there and follow me there too. So, yes, loved one, gratitude. It's your number one tool for life. It really is. It doesn't cost you anything. In fact, it probably costs you not to do it. That's most likely true. It probably costs you to not exercise gratitude. If you would also give me a review and a rating review on wherever you listen to your audio podcast, I would so appreciate it. And also in the description of the podcast episodes, at the very beginning of the description, my hosting platform has now put in a Chat with Matt feature where you can send me episode ideas, ask questions, recommend a guest or someone for an interview, including yourself. It's not that I would not have guests or have to do interviews. It's just not necessarily been on my radar as yet, except for having Kitty on, the lovely Kitty, a couple of times. But besides that, no, I have not done guests, but I'm not saying I would not. So if you're interested, let me know. You can find me there. Anyway, loved ones, that is what I got. I love you. I do. And I will be back directly.
There is a distance in the light